Welcome to the shit show.
Tom is in the house. Got a smirk on his face. He's excited about this show, as am I, as is the chat. Tom, in the chat, which if you're listening to me right now, you are live with us, live on the YallTube, watching us live. You can join in the chat. You can talk to us throughout the night, and we will talk back, right? We're gonna talk about Dynamite. We're going to talk about, we'll probably throw some Collision talk in there and just generalized topics, right? Because we get wild.
Hell yeah.
We're crazy. We are uninhibited, and we are unchained, Tom, the two of us.
Ooh, we're the bad boys. Ooh, you want some bad boys, huh? We're nasty here. Look at us. Look, I went to the bar. I said, I'm here for analysis and ass whoopings. And they said, we're all out of analysis. Ooh, we're the bad boys. Ooh, yeah.
I'll tell you this, we're the bad boys. But we're so good. Tom, I'm excited to talk about AEW Dynamite. It was last night. I felt like we had another really great show.
You know why we're so good? It's because we don't let it get into our head. What people don't realize about successful podcasting is it's 90% mental and the other half is in your head. It is some of the best work we've ever done. And that's why. If that's unlocked,
90%
the key.
mental.
And then the rest of it.
The other half.
Yeah, the other half is in your head.
Is in your head. The other half.
Yes. It's exactly right.
You're the man, Tom. You got a big brain.
I tell you what.
Brain Tom. That's a theme. We'll find out. If you keep watching with us, we want you to talk to us. Like our friend Fuck Your Mama 2 times in the chat. It says, what up? The best podcast this side of the Mississippi, although he and us are on opposite sides of the Mississippi. But it's true, whichever side of the Mississippi you're on, it's the
All
best
the
podcast this side of the Mississippi. Timmy and Tom A. Guns, the biggest brain, he says, and we're going to talk more about Fuck Your Mama 2 times, but you should do what Fuck Your Mama 2 times does and get in the chat. Get in the chat and talk to us, right? Talk to us throughout. And if you can't join us live during these shows, you can always catch us live during the shows. One of us, usually Tom, will be live skating on the blue sky.
Although you've been doing great.
Oh yeah, I've been joining in when I get the chance, go in there and chime in because it's fun, right? It's fun. I got weird thoughts about wrestling and society in general, right? And so sometimes I like to write them down, right?
Come on.
I like to write them
Come
down.
on.
So if you want to find that link, find us at allelitewrapup.com. That blue sky link is up there. And there's a bunch of other links, a bunch of other things like podcast links, YouTube links, donation links. When I hit that one, Tom, you look confused.
I was going to do something. I had something really fun to say, and now I'm totally blanking, and I can't think.
Was it?
Fuck! 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 Fuck!
I get the feeling you already said that today.
Yeah, actually, that was it. Okay, great.
Yeah, okay, all right.
What's been going on? What's new? How is life? Good.
Nothing crazy. Been working, been watching the wrestling, doing other things around the house, right? Getting things ready. Son's graduation is going to be coming up soon, so we're going to be getting the house ready for guests and that sort of thing. So nothing too crazy, nothing wild going on over here, right? Just being an adult, which sucks.
I mean, does it? Because you could be told what to do with every second of your life, right? I had ice cream for breakfast this morning.
It's true.
Why?
I mean, that's because you're an adult.
Right? Just do whatever I want. Yep.
Yeah, do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah,
Officer.
Some people are like, oh, it's the worst to grow up. And in some aspects, yeah. You know what I think the sweet point is? The sweet spot? 17 years old, because you still have enough structure and like, hey, I can't be held responsible. Look at all the other stuff. I got to do school and this, right? 16 actually. No, 17. I'll stay with 17. But you can drive, you can get out of the house if you need to. You can do the other fun stuff. It's and you're only working most likely.
My son's got a great life right now, right? He's finishing school. So we had told him when he was pissed off at his job, we're like, quit that shit. Just focus on your school and you know what I mean? You got money in the bank, leave it. And now I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, he's sitting around here doing nothing. All you're doing is going bowling and playing fucking video games. You go to school a couple hours a day. Like, you fucking drive my truck, go get yourself some snacks and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's the perfect
right
there.
Exactly. Yeah. You made me realize I resent that, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it. Now fucking
there it is.
Therapist or something now.
Talk to Chuck.
Chuck, yes, Chuck's a good guy. I haven't talked to Chuck in a while. Maybe that would help.
I tell you what, it does help.
Yeah,
talk to him twice a month.
So, but you can talk to us. Like, we could be your therapy. We're not licensed therapists. I want to be very clear about this. Though Tom is a doctor, as we covered over the last couple of weeks, not a licensed therapist.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But we'll give you some feedback. We'll give you some.
I love to tell people what to do. If you need to be told what to do, you just talk to me.
Yeah, listen, without even asking me, I know what you should do. So you might as well ask me.
Exactly, yeah. 100%.
All right, so
100%.
You know what else? You know what you should do is hit us up at aewrapup@gmail.com. Send us your thoughts. This is another way to get a hold of us, right? If you can't live skeet along with us, if you can't live chat along with us, you can send us either a written email or typed out email, as it were, an audio clip, a video clip, and we'll discuss your thoughts here. And I mentioned that we would talk about Fuck Your Mama 2 times again, one of our greatest friends here, one of our greatest All Elite Wrap-Up friends. We still haven't come up with like a name. Tom,
yeah, fine.
We're going to get to our senior human relations correspondent, Fuck Your Mama 2 times.
What up, boys? It's your favorite Florida man, Mr. Fuck Your Mama 2 times. Shout out to that boy Ash, our European correspondent, always giving y'all the questions, always giving y'all topics to feed the show. So I thought I would do the same. So here's my question. MVP was recently on a podcast and he was asked a question on who would he slap, dead or alive? Anybody. If he could slap anybody, dead or alive. He alluded to saying that he wanted to slap an executive. People are pretending maybe it's Triple H, maybe it's Vince. I kind of think he's speaking to Nick Khan. I don't know. It could be Triple H. Hey, I would like to slap the shit out of Triple H too. But who would be your choice of who you would want to slap, dead or alive? And also, who do you think he's talking to? Who do you think he's referred to? By the way, Shelton said he wanted to slap that same executive, but that's neither here nor there. Story I have for y'all is about the infamous Roddy Piper and the Bad News Brown match. You know, the one where he had blackface? Yeah, that one. Well, Vince McMahon bought some paint for Rowdy for this match because he thought it was a good idea. You know, Bad News Brown thought it was a horrible idea to do this, but they thought it was a great idea, so they went along with it. So Vince buys this paint, and it also comes with this solution or potion that you would use to take it off. Well, in the middle of the match, Andre the Giant goes into Roddy Piper's dressing room and pours out the antidote and fills it with water. So, the match ends. Roddy Piper comes back and he goes to his locker room to take off the paint. Well, the assistant who's trying to take the paint off him, scrubbing so much that she gets blood. He starts to bleed. Why isn't this coming off? So he put 2 and 2 together, figured out it was Andre ribbing him. So what does he do? What do you do to a man that's a giant? You go to a bar and you drink your sorrows away. That's what he did right after. He went to the bar in Toronto, half black, half white. Went to the airport, half black, half white. Greeted his wife and child, half black, half white. for a month. True story. Thought it was something funny, you know.
Yeah, yeah. What I mean, you certainly can't do anything back to Andre the Giant, right? And he was also a kind of an untouchable guy, even let alone that he was a literal
big.
giant.
Mhm.
I also kind of get the feeling that Roddy Piper, once that he was just like, well, I guess I'm stuck this way, is also the guy who's like, I'm going to the bar. I don't give a shit. What's somebody going to say something to me? Oh, fucking, I'm ready to die tonight, right? Like, he seemed like he didn't give a shit. Like, what are you going to do? Start a fight with me? Let's go.
Yeah.
Right? So, fuck it.
Welcome it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would you want to slap?
Jesus. I mean, the easy answer right now is Elon Musk, Trump. I don't know. There's a bunch of names, right, of people that you would like to slap, I think.
Let's keep it to pro wrestling.
If we're saying
Yeah.
pro wrestling,
Pro
Vince
wrestling.
McMahon.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would slap Bruce Pritchard. You know why?
Why?
Because he's been a bitch his entire life. Then he gets out and a fat guy discovers him and is like, hey, just talk your dumb shit. And he gets notoriety on his own. On his own. Like, hey, this is cool. I'm making $1 for myself, not just being a lackey for someone else. And the second that they're like, hey, we'll take you back, boop, he's there. And he's such a bitch.
Yeah.
He's such a bitch. And that's why I want to smack him. Because, some people you want to smack out of hate. Like, I want you to feel this pain. Whap, right? Some people you want to smack because it's like, fucking better. And I think he knows better. I think he knows that when he had that time in the sun, when it was just him talking his made up stories about things that never actually happened, it was, people fucking loved it. But the second he was like, but my real heart is with Vince and with the second would be Cody. Because third would be, I got a top 5. Second would be Cody.
So you got more than a top 5.
Yeah, but I can just wrap something up. Well, I'm going to keep with this theme. Because again, there's a top 5 of people I want to hurt with a smack, right? And there's just a top 5 of like, you motherfuckers, right? So Bruce Pritchard, Cody, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and then I would want to smack Shinsuke Nakamura. Motherfucker, get out. Get out. You know who's over there? Go. Why?
Yeah.
Like, it's been rumored that like he ain't happy except for, he's riding the waves in wherever the fuck America he lives. And it's just like, no, get the.
Yeah. Look, I obviously don't know the financials of AEW, but I get the feeling that like they're willing to pay you right now. And any worry about like ratings or venue sizes, like, again, the more talent that gets over there, and if he's willing to pay, people are gonna, you know what I mean? Like, people are gonna go at some point. So like, just you don't have to continue.
You don't have to, and especially, of the, you know what? It's still gonna be Bruce Pritchard because he's such a bitch. He's such a bitch. But
CM
man,
Punk didn't make the top 5.
Oh, he's
Phil
a
Brooks.
fucking fraud. He's been a fraud. That's like you want to hurt him, but that's like because he knows that we know that he is a fraud.
He's already had the philosophical slap.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Hey, guess what, guys? I'm gonna wear a Chicago Teachers Union shirt. I show support. Hey, by the way, my check comes from the person dismantling the fucking Department of Education. Hey guys, straight edge. Straight edge. Hey guys. The fuck out of here. But Sami Zayn is the one who's breaking my heart the most right now. Just because it legitimately feels like his heart is in the right place with all of the things that he's legitimately doing to help people in Syria and to just to hope that you following him he'll show you to accept others that may not look like you. And yet he re-signed with the fucking company.
Yeah.
And again, I know nothing about Tony Khan. He could be a psycho in the back as well. But I do know one thing. There's one show where they'll show pro-science, pro-choice, pro-wrestling, and protect trans kids. And there's another one that's trying to eradicate them from the world. So, I don't know. Maybe Tony Khan's not that horrible of a person. Ooh, maybe. So, yeah, those are top 5.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't got a top 5, but I did. Vince came to mind, and then CM
Yeah,
Punk,
but that's
as we were
what I
talking
want
this
to
out.
fucking hit. Nakamura though is more of so. Sammy and Kevin are for this basically same reasons, right?
Yeah,
And Sammy more so because he's more outspoken. I honestly don't know much about what Kevin Owens says about issues.
you got to figure if he's Sammy's best friend.
That's what I'm saying.
Not.
So right, yeah.
Right.
Nakamura's is more of just like, I want Wrestle Kingdom 9 Nakamura with the fucking crown. Like, God damn it, man. I want that motherfucker. Don't you? I love that fucking guy. Remember, I called you. I was like, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever saw him. And you know who we have to thank for that? Jeff Jarrett. Remember when his bitch ass co-promoted Wrestle Kingdom 9 with that GWF or whatever the fuck it was?
GFW, I think.
GFW, yeah. And I was like, really? So I guess I'll check this out because he provided the whatever to buy it. Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett. I knew it.
I don't. No, sure don't.
Yeah. So, hey, let's get back. Who do you think MVP and Shelton? I think Triple H is the answer of who they want to slap.
No, I don't. I was thinking it's John Laurinaitis.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I
wants to slap
feel
he's got a punchable face.
Yeah. And I feel as if maybe I'm wrong here, but there was such a long period of time that Triple H was a wrestler on the roster with MVP and Shelton Benjamin that if anything were to get sideways, it would have got sideways one of those weeks, right?
Maybe it built up over the years, right?
Now that
he's in
could
power
be.
Yeah,
maybe. But do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like if they knew the allegations of him being racist were like that evident, like
they wouldn't have to covertly say, I want to slap some guy. They probably would have already been like, bitch, I'm going to slap you. Right?
Or they would have already smacked him.
Or they would have slapped him,
yeah, there would have already been a situation. So that's why, and again, maybe I'm wrong. That's why I was thinking, because John Laurinaitis, one, is a bitch, right? You can't smack a fucking noodle. And then
he's also an alleged sexual assaulter.
Well, he's a fucking scumbag, but he also looks like a sack of shit. So it's not like, you know what I mean? Like if you hit someone, it's like, you hit the 120-pound fucking person.
For a WWE corporate figure, you couldn't have found the most suck-up looking corporate goon, waste of space looking guy than John Laurinaitis, right?
Yeah,
exactly. If you're like, show me the senior executive vice president of fill-in-the-blank random name division, it looks exactly like John fucking Laurinaitis, right? Cheesy, dead behind the eyes smile. You know the guy commits fucking, crimes against humanity in his free time.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can't beat him up because it's like, it's a lose-lose, right? Yeah. And so I think
you lose your job and get sued. And
yeah. And so I think it's him. That's me. That's what I'm thinking.
Gotcha. Fuck Your Mama 2 times says Nick Khan, I think. He's the one who ended the Hurt Business after Vince left.
I don't think he cares.
Yeah, I don't think he's like in on
I don't think he could tell you 5 fucking wrestlers. I'm being dead serious. Like not the Johnny Come Latelys WrestleMania season. I'm saying name who's in the Intercontinental picture. I don't think he could name those 5 people. I don't think he even fucking watches.
Nope. He'd be the one where, he crosses people's first and last names and shit and fucks them up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He cares
like
more
that Seth
about
Rhodes guy. And they'd be like, what? Like,
Seth Rhodes. We love Seth.
Cody Rollins.
Yeah. He's more into real sports. Like he is at the majority of the real shit that goes on. The NBA, which did you see the fucking crypt keeper at the NBA game, at the Knicks game? Yeah, right, Vince and Shane were right there.
The Crypt Keeper. Okay, I thought you meant like they had the character, the Crypt Keeper. No. Dead or alive, though, who am I slapping? I forgot to mention it's you. You fucking know who you are.
Been your mother like I did last night.
Well, speaking of that, fuck your mama 2 times. Thanks again for that wonderful call. And please, anybody, do the same thing. AEWrapup@gmail.com. That's 1 W for everybody. Sometimes we get that message. It's all elite wrap up, right? So AEWrapup@gmail.com. Tom, Dynamite was last night. There was a hot collision leading into it, and then coming out of it, we're going to have Slam Dunk Saturday and Slam Dunk Sunday, double collision.
Have we explained why Sunday?
Well, they're doing I think it's just an extra thing because it's lead-in tournament, right? The tournament will be a lead-in, and so they're just like, give us an extra, right? And so they're doing Slam Dunk Saturday, Slam Dunk Sunday.
Love it.
Lead-in from the tournament, right? It's at March Madness.
Yeah, love
Madness, Tom. It's madness every year.
Who do you got winning?
Sure, they don't influence that anyway by referees and betting lines, but it is what it is.
Well, that's never happened before.
Yeah, never happened before in the history of United States sports for sure.
Who do you have winning the whole thing?
Tom, I didn't do any
K-State
brackets at all this year. They're not in it this year because they suck.
Aw.
Yep. Paid fucking Coleman Hawkins $2 million guaranteed for the year. Shouldn't have done that.
I'm going with the fucking guy that I sent you a couple hours ago with the ball
McNeese
boy.
State?
Yeah.
Nah. It's probably gonna be Houston or somebody like that. Probably
no. Houston sucks. I live there. It's not good. McNeese State. Let's just take a look.
None of the fucking kids on the Houston basketball team are from Houston, so
they live there.
Works, right?
It rubs off on you.
They live there now. I mean? That's true. Yeah. You can only wash the stench off so much, right?
That's why I got out when I could.
That turned around so fast. I was like, man, this guy Tom is going to move away. We're going to eventually stop doing the show. We'll probably grow apart, whatever. And then I think it was a couple weeks in, you're like, I'm coming back. Fuck.
No, it was the second night. I was like, oh, this is how it fucking is. I'm not here. Bye-bye.
I do remember, because you were there a couple of days and you were like, and I had as many guns pulled on me during the course of that time.
I had a gun pulled on me 3 times in 2 weeks. Fucking sucked. McNeese State is a 12 seed. I'm going them.
Yeah.
What are they? The Cowboys?
I don't know. They're not going to be the NCAA champions. I know that.
Why?
Because that just doesn't happen. A 12 seed is winning the tournament.
So what, man? A 16 never beat a 1 until then. Now they start to do, Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the little aura guy.
Yeah, that guy was fun though. Yeah.
The fucking I saw the post today because the cheerleaders have socks with his face on it. Not the team mascot, not the star player, the fucking that guy. Fuck yeah, good for them. It's probably going to be Duke. But let's talk about AEW Dynamite.
K-State's got a fan like a super fan they call Weird Robert, and he's weird. He is weird.
Maybe that's why you guys didn't make the fucking tournament, Tim. Can't really go places when you got Weird Robert.
Weird Robert, yeah.
They don't want Weird Robert in the stands.
Weird Robert is a guy who since 1976 has made every road football game. And Weird Robert, if he's got $5 to his name, it would shock me. You know what I mean? So they've got some interesting stories of road tales from people having to pick up Weird Robert broke down on the side of the road to make sure he gets to the road game. The team played a game in 98 in Japan, so they flew him on the plane with them so he could get to not end his streak, right?
That's nice. That's actually very nice.
Robert, it is, yeah.
But Weird Robert's not going to sit next to that old nun who, remember a few years ago? Old nun?
No, and they wouldn't. I mean, he's weird, and I mean, I'm not trying to despair, but he's not TV safe at some point.
Well, that makes him a little bit cooler. Yeah.
So in the 70s, that was a lot more. It was just Weird Robert, right? That probably was a less, offensive term, and he wasn't as not TV, right? Thing. So yeah, but you'll get the big heads of his face sometimes at a K-State game.
Okay. That nun is still alive, I think, with Loyola.
Yeah,
she's a celebrity because that's where Emily graduated college from, and so she knew of her before she became famous.
So when that fucking run when they went to the Final Four, they beat K-State in the Elite Eight, and I was real because everybody was like, "Fucking Sister Jean," and they haven't been to the Final Four. Yeah. They were like, they haven't been to the Final Four since '67, and I was like, K-State hasn't been to the Final Four since '68. It's fucking 1 year later, and I was like, I don't care. No, we're fucking winning. Fuck that nun. And I was like, fuck that. And God damn it, if they didn't win, I was like, God damn it, fucking Jesus.
If you do the whole chop it up out of context, I want that in there.
Yeah, fuck that nun. Yeah.
That's great.
I was at a bar watching that game, and that is the second time in my life I've seen K-State make it as far as the Elite Eight, and both times I watched that game at a bar. So I vowed, I was like, if they make it here again, not fucking.
Right. Good call.
Oh,
good call.
I guess that's not true. The most recent time they made it to the Elite Eight, I did not watch that at a bar, and they also lost. So that's not the. God damn it.
Well, let's just say it was. Let's just say it. Don't let the details get in the way of a good
sucks,
story.
Right? This is what I'm trying to say, right? Like, once in a while they could fucking win something, but
No. They got Beasley, right? Wasn't that the fucking guy that played on the team?
Yeah, and he was the only one that was good enough, and so they won. A lot of teams would be like, all right, well, we're just gonna let him get his and D everybody else up, and you can only.
He doesn't believe in gravity. He doesn't believe in gravity.
He's a. We knew him to be very into the cannabistic arts, we'll say, back when he was there, and I think that's only gotten more. So
hell yeah,
yeah.
Make it legal. Make it legal. There's no consequences. Drink more beer, then drive all the cars. Oh, how is that? Yeah. Anyhow, hey,
yeah, a little different,
but is it?
Yeah.
Anyhow, AEW Dynamite.
AEW.
It was in Omaha, Nebraska, a city I'm very familiar with.
Granddaddy of them all at the
Liberty First Credit Union Arena, which I am distinctly familiar with. Ran many
go up here. Go hang out with your.
Well, I heard there was a foot of snow
or something. Oh, that's true. Blizzard.
And that brother-in-law moved to Pensacola.
Pensacola.
So I'm visiting him. Yeah, I'm visiting him the first weekend of April.
All right, go check in on my parents.
Okay.
Call my dad a fucking Trump fucker or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, you mouth-breathing, knuckle-driven, kissing cousin douche.
Yeah, there you go.
Your son says hi.
Yeah.
No, the Liberty.
Heard a lot about you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Where's your whore of a wife? Oh, no, I'm kidding. The Liberty First Credit Union Arena is where I ran shows when I would go up to Omaha, Nebraska, when Victory Fighting Championships would run their stuff. So that backstage, those locker rooms, I know quite well. Slept in them a couple times as well. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about a foot of snow in Omaha, Nebraska, which made this show
Snowmaha
2025.
Snowmaha 2025. All right. Yeah. But I saw those the messages coming out from Tony Khan saying, "Hey, major blizzard, but everybody that's scheduled to be here is here. We're gonna rock."
And they did videos. I like that. They need to do that more often, where they showed Adam Copeland walking and Sasha Banks and Statlander and stuff. Even if it's just a normal 70 degrees that day, fucking get the shit pumping before the stuff starts to hit. You know what I mean? Lead into it. If social media is the wave of the future that I keep being told, do that, right?
It's behind us, but whatever.
It's a trap. Yeah. But Dynasty 2025 International Championship Eliminator Tournament 4-way fight kicked off the show.
Rolls right off the tongue. They should make shirts for that.
Yeah, they should definitely make 4-way fight a thing instead of fatal 4-way. You know what?
Yeah.
I said this on Blue Sky. The objective is to win the match, not murder. So it's not a fatal 4-way.
What about a quad quarrel?
I don't
have these fucking work either.
Well, have these idiots spell quarrel. You know what I mean?
We're talking about wrestling fans here.
I'm just talking about Americans.
4-way fight.
R Q. Yeah. But we had
QWERL Coral.
No, this is how they QUWWFQUQ
JEFF.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Hey, we had freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, Speedball, Mike Bailey, Mark Davis, and Ricochet. Side note, here is one thing that I wish we could get explained to us. The freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, we're past the point, right? He's been here 5 years. He's just freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, and the orange freshly squeezed. You kind of get it, right? But I'm not going to call this motherfucker Speedball Mike Bailey until someone tells me what Speedball means.
Yeah. Is this guy on meth?
Yeah.
Talking about?
Yeah, is that a crack sale? I don't know.
He is from Canada.
He does have a mullet, you know? What's the speedball?
Looks like he's had his teeth replaced. You know what I'm saying? Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the speedball?
Mike.
Where's your where's your license and registration?
Yeah. I'm going to need to search the trunk, Mike.
Yeah, Mike. Speedball? You think I'm going to let you go on that one? Speedball? But seriously, you need to explain just nicknames. I'm not just going to start calling motherfuckers Speedball just because you write it on a fucking sheet. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck
Speedball.
you.
Yeah. Here we go. So here's the thing that I took away from this match. Orange Cassidy puts his hands in his pocket. Ricochet does all the flips. Mark Davis is big, and Mike Bailey kicks.
He's fast.
And he's fast-ish. He's fast-ish. I don't know if he was like mind-numbingly, oh my God, I've never seen anyone faster than this, you know.
He's got fast kicks.
Yeah. Yeah, because Commander's probably just as fast, or, you know, any of the luchadors, you know, Bandito or that. But you know what it made me think of? Because Jim Ross works for AEW, and I even think they said it during the broadcast. Educated feet. It's not a fucking thing. His feet didn't go to Harvard. Okay? Yeah. That's not a fucking... You mean he is good using his feet? Oh, I've went on this crusade in 2025, Tim, of just getting rid of the dumb shit that we just say for no fucking reason. It's so stupid. Absolute nonsense we talk.
I remember when you wouldn't stop laughing when I put two and two together that WCW used to have a WCW International World Heavyweight Champion. And I was like, that's International World. That's the same thing. You don't got to say that same thing twice. But what that was is they had WCW and then they had WCW International. And so they had a WCW World Heavyweight Champion. And then they had WCW International World Heavyweight Champion. And I was like, wait a minute. What is that?
How did they go out of business? I don't know.
4 more weeks and Dynamite has outlived Nitro.
Yeah, fuck you. WCW giving me all those great memories of Goldberg fucking spearing La Parka, you assholes.
Hey, thanks for the Disco Inferno memories.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck you, and remembering how Rick Steiner on accident broke Buff Bagwell's neck. You remember that? He gave him the bulldog and his neck slipped out and boom. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Where am I? Hey, Ricochet is great.
Talking about the speedballs. Yeah, talking about the WCW locker room. But anyway.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Ricochet is like a wet fart if it dreamed of being an adult. Like this fucking guy, right? Like he's just a fucking piece of shit, isn't he?
Yeah. The spot of this whole match, though, right, is the Mark Davis lifts Orange Cassidy up by his ankles, right, into the what do you do, power, like a pile driver or power bomb?
Yeah,
or something,
the power.
I mean, we say Davis did that. Orange Cassidy had to, you know what I mean?
Of course.
But
it's wrestling.
Yeah, it's wrestling, but great spot there. Yeah, I think you're right. Like different styles here, even though, you know, you've got a couple high-speed flippy guys, or even 3 of them. Well, not high speed. You got a flippy guy who's slow speed, but interesting blend here. Made for a good hype up, you know, everybody get excited. TV's live. Let's get going. I thought it worked well.
Yeah. And it ends with Mike Bailey is going to roll up old Mark Davis, and Ricochet, that wet fart, he just goes, I'm on it too. And now I get it. We wanted the match, right? If we're peeking behind the curtain, that's what we wanted. But let's act like we're in kayfabe land here. Why wouldn't you go then? Okay, since it's both of you, now it's a one-on-one match. And the winner faces Kenny Omega.
So hear me out. This was 8 people in a tournament that just led to a 4-way. Like, why didn't we just have 2 matches and then those 2 guys win? And then you do something where like, draw. And now it's a 3-way. Like, why did we do it this way? It's weird. I think it's weird. And also the referee does the 3 count, but then it's like, oh no, it's 2 people. I can't just say, what do I do? why didn't you just stop counting? Why didn't you be like, two people can't pin each other at the same time in this match, right? Like,
Yeah, and how were you so shocked? What were you looking at?
Yeah, for at least 2 or 3 seconds, right? Like, that's the thing is, I need to go back and catch this, because to me, if Ricochet came in after the first count,
then he's not in it.
You didn't get a 3 count.
Yeah, you got a 2.
Yeah, you got a 2. There was a spot in the match where Orange Cassidy argued with Bryce that it was a 2 count instead of a 1. Right? Like, it's 1, and he's like, "Come on, it's 2."
Orange's stick is still not worn off. He does it so
Right.
well. And one thing, credit to him, that he does very well is like the hands in the pocket. He doesn't do every single time anymore. Right. So when he does bring it out, it's fucking fun. Like, I do like the part where what's his ass Speedball here threw 100 kicks, and then Orange Cassidy's like, "Oh yeah, well, check me out."
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. That was great. Yeah, he does his shtick better than most people have ever done a shtick that I can remember.
Especially one that's just, it's the same thing. Because by
exactly,
nature, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't move much.
But he knows how to space it out, and he knows how to, like, I don't have a catchphrase, and that's the thing for a couple weeks, and then that goes away.
I think it helps that part of the shtick is, I'm just a little too cool for school. So, like, not bringing it out all the time is just part of the shtick, you know?
Part of it, yeah. So at Dynasty, which we'll get our picks in here next week, I guess.
Is it already that quick?
Is it?
I don't know. This shirt. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know days. Is it coming up? Hold on. It's April 9th, right? Or April, what is it? When's the pay-per-view? April 5th? April 6th?
I don't know.
April 6th.
We don't fact check here. Let me.
Yes. We got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks. Okay.
But that is still coming up quick. That is still coming up quick.
It is. Yeah. So we got a 3-way. So we'll 3-way fight. So we'll get our picks when we do it. But that should be fun, right? Now I'm talking this out loud, and so maybe I'm going to change my mind here. I think it's fun if you wrote down on paper Mike Bailey, Ricochet, Kenny Omega. I think you're doing a disservice when you're saying Kenny Omega, our star guy, the one you're paying money to see, is in a match with 2 other people. Because there's obviously going to be moments where he's laying on the outside, and it's going to be Ricochet and Mike Bailey. So it's like, Kenny Omega needs to be up here by himself.
Well, so my thought process behind it too is looking ahead, right? Obviously we have a couple weeks, but my thought is Kenny Omega walks out of Dynasty, he's still the international champion, right? And so to me, like, Ricochet's real hot right now, right? With what he's doing. I wouldn't have put him in this match just to lose. I think you could have lost like this match now because it was a 4-way, right? You weren't even really involved, and that could be something you could complain about and heel out on, while Mike Bailey goes and loses to Kenny Omega at the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? That kind of thing, right?
Or
is Ricochet going to win this title?
And he pins Mike Bailey, so then Kenny Omega just goes, I never actually lost, and then goes, I want the championship now. I'm at the end of my career. I want that belt back. I'm entering in myself in the Owen Hart.
Yeah, was he just
tournament.
a stopgap to get the title to another heel?
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
And again, if he enters into this Owen Hart tournament, which others have, right? We got Will Ospreay. Later on, we're going to hear from Hangman. You had Kenny Omega, and now all of a sudden we're talking about a big time tournament. But we'll talk about that when we get there. We get right back to the action. After the break, it's a TBS championship match. It's Mercedes Moné versus Billy Starks. What'd you think, Tim?
Match is good. I thought they did a good job of giving us a video package on Billy Starks, talking her up throughout the thing, kind of giving you the background. I was unaware she's, one of these like 19-year-olds that has been, wrestling for 6 years or whatnot. So, interesting stuff, checked in enough, but just knowing here, being a little curmudgeon old guy, like I was like, well, not winning this match, right? And all of this is to set up Athena, and we got more of that, in the promo later. But again, match did not was not bad, like did not disappoint. I thought they did really good here. And Mercedes Moné is still looking like a unbeatable, heel that you don't want to keep winning here. So
it's interesting. Here's the thing that I find the most interesting, though, is she's not necessarily, at least to the best of my knowledge, she's not cheating to win. It's
Correct.
all pretty like, no, I'm just better than you. And
she's
it's
walking the walk.
Well, fuck. Because again, if that's the case, then why am I booing you? Right? Will Ospreay says he's on another level, and we cheer that. So I don't get why she says
that's
I'm
what
the
MJF's
CEO.
argument has been the whole time. Like, hey,
Yeah.
he's doing what I'm doing.
Right.
Fucking goddamn it.
Yeah. I mean, So yeah, Mercedes retains her championship. Billy Starks is unsuccessful. She ends up tapping out, and we go backstage.
Yeah.
And here is MJF in his best spray tan that he probably did himself.
Is he going extra hard on the spray tan to be extra heelish, or is he also unaware like Adam Cole was?
I think
Because it's worse every week, it feels like. Sorry.
I think it's two things. I think it's one, hey, the spray tan's getting over. And two, hey, buddy, you don't know how to do it. Like, I think he thinks the great spray tan is so over. And I think he isn't hearing that's not good.
He looked as orange as the wood in the locker room behind him.
Well, and it's splotchy. It's not consistent.
Yeah.
It's not the Hulk Hogan hot dog. You know what I mean? It's like,
and he's at a point where his lips are a lighter color than his like face. And it's like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
That's not how a tan works either. You know what I mean? Like if you got really that tan,
yeah,
your lips suddenly wouldn't be white, dog.
Yeah. It's splotchy. It's bad. It's very, very bad. But what he has to say
But
here.
it looks like he just sprayed it on. It looks like
might
it's
have.
ready to drip from his face.
Might have. Yeah.
He's spent a whole day working at Jiffy Lube.
Pulled the old Rudy Giuliani. Said, I'm going to do this right before camera. But what he has to say
Andre the
here,
Giant hit his paint wash.
yeah. But what he has to say here is, hey, looks like old Dictator John has a little click, so maybe I need a click. But if you remember, I got burned bad. And I want to say, again, he's a heel, so it makes sense that he would always tell you his side and no other side. But didn't you also fuck up the inner circle? That's what I would tell MVP. Again, if we love our history, if I'm next week, because what he says here is, I got burned. He's alluding to Adam Cole. So next week, I'll let the Hurt Syndicate know what my answer will be, right? I would do a next up in the ring MJF's decision with the Hurt Syndicate, and right before the Hurt Syndicate walks out there, have him bump into Jericho, and Jericho's like, I wouldn't bring him in.
So and MVP and Jericho don't like each other either. So
yeah, but they'll do business. They'll do a segment.
But they could lean into that, right? Where he's like, "The fuck do you want?" Right? And he'll be like, "You better watch out." Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Be like, "Listen, I'm all for watching you get destroyed, but like, he's gonna be the guy to do it."
And you know what? If you really wanted to get wild, you could have Jericho say like, he came in, and now none of my friends are even here. Because where's Jack Swagger? Not here. Where's Santana?
Gone.
Yeah,
he's
gone. Ortiz, I think, is gone.
Yep.
Sammy Guevara is in ROH, but still not in
Gone.
AEW. Yeah, so
he's working with an old man.
All right, another old man. So yeah, I think that would. I think that's what I would do. As I would just have Jericho run into MVP right before the decision. Just be like, I wouldn't do that, man.
Fuck your mama 2 times in the chat says MJF looks like a hot dog that's been left in the 7-Eleven heat lamp.
He looks like a hot dog that's been left in an ashtray.
He is the color of, if you go to Quick Trip where they've got those like buffalo chicken rollers.
Oh, I know.
He's that color orange.
Oh yeah. Well, but here's my thing is I don't necessarily hate the hot dog orange. Just be consistent. It's the splotchiness of it that I don't like.
Look, I hate the hot dog orange, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're doing it on purpose because it's heel stuff, then cool. But yeah,
Then make it good.
Well, but even worse, if you're doing it to make me hate it, then if Flachi makes me hate it worse,
Yeah.
so maybe it's
Right.
even better. But man, I hope you do have some wash to take it off each night, and I hope you're not having to like go through the fucking Burger King drive-through.
But by the way, you mentioned the Quick Trip app. Huh?
Yeah.
Come on now.
There you go.
Yeah, I
you
love me some Quick Trip. God bless Quick Trip. God, it's the best thing in the world. If you don't have a Quick Trip by you, your life is worse than mine. So then we
What
get
are you, a poor?
yeah, huh? Your city, a fucking poor city. Yeah.
Ew, you live in a poor.
Ew.
Ew.
Ew. Your neighborhood probably smells like cat piss. Okay. We get to a fight. It is a street fight,
Ooh.
and it's Cope versus Mox. Adam Copeland, John Moxley. And Copeland gets in there before they could even start the shit. And he throws him in the truck and hits Moxley in the knee with Jeff Jarrett's guitar.
So, yeah, a couple things. Again, it's wrestling, right? It's wrestling.
Yeah.
And Mox normally does not come out of the entryway, right? We know that. He normally comes from the crowd. But this time he was so far out of the building. Like, was he walking there from the bus stop? How did you guys know to actually start this match? He wasn't in the building yet. How did you know that, like, we were ready to go? Or we were just like, fuck it, I hope Moxley's here somewhere?
Yeah.
He knows what showtime is.
And they just saw the feed and said, let's ring that bell.
And then, shout out to one of the sickos I said, I forget who said it, but it was like true Canada guy fashion. Right after a snowstorm, Cope is out there in jeans and a vest, just out there like, let's get this fight on.
Yeah. Actually, hold on. You know what's funny about that? Again, let's go into kayfabe world real quick. If I know I'm going to jump you, I don't need to pack a vest.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Because he just took the vest off. It didn't serve any purpose.
Yeah,
like, he
yeah.
just like, I got to get this off.
Yeah.
Like,
It was interesting. Yeah.
well, I thought the guitar was the most interesting thing. Jeff Jarrett just can't bring his own fucking guitar. Does he not know how to play guitar?
I mean, doesn't he? I mean, he's
I
a
don't
world
know.
famous singer, isn't he?
Well, that was Road Dogg. Remember, we found that
I
out
know
at
that,
SummerSlam, you know? So,
yeah. Fraud. That Jeff Jarrett. That was the first sign. Well,
yeah, knew it right then. Knew it right then.
Wasn't the first sign, but if you didn't pick up after that sign.
Yeah, that and his dad. And you're like, well, I know who the fuck is a fraud around here. The fat guy and his son.
And, you know, the big spot that everybody's talking about from this match is the spike getting
Marina.
stuck.
Oh.
Marina Shafir. Everybody's talking about Marina Shafir.
Talking about Marina Shafir.
A couple things about that is Mox, it was also said during this week that his flight was gonna be canceled, so he rents a car and drives, I think it was 8, some say 11 hours to get to Omaha in blizzard-like conditions, only to get this oversized toothbrush made out of nails stuck in his fucking back. Like, what a fucking champ, man. This guy is doing this for you.
And in Omaha.
In Omaha. Right, yeah, this wasn't... Yeah.
I don't know. Look, if I'm not getting paid, I don't go there on a sunny day.
Yeah.
I'm not going there if I'm going to get a fucking tax
You
in my
sent
back.
a bill to your in-laws for making you go to Omaha.
Plenty of time. Oh, trust me. There's a couple things that when we were going up to Omaha, I wasn't paying gas money, and you guys are buying me all the meals.
So that spot, when they send in Yuta, right, and he like stops his mid-spot and timing to try to get this thing out of Moxley's back, and see him frantically dealing with the ref, and the ref like cluing in, I was like, oh no, they can't get this thing out of his back. I was like, oh no, what are we gonna do here? And finally, thankfully, it kind of like worked its own way out, it seems, after they play with a little bit. Yikes.
Yeah, so to talk about that spot specifically, I thought initially, okay, no big deal, because Moxley, you could see, is looking at the monitor. So in my head, I'm thinking he's making sure that he looks like he's selling, right? Like,
well, yeah, I thought he was like, he's getting up slowly to make sure it like stays on so he can get that shot, right?
Yeah,
like,
and so he's doing that.
Yeah.
But then when Yuta says, hey, ref, come here.
Yeah,
That's
quickly.
when it was like,
when
Yeah.
he starts hitting the button right where you're like, live, are we live? Like, I gotta fucking, I need some help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Yuta started,
Where are my gloves?
frantically-
Where are my gloves? Yeah.
Yeah, when Yuta does this, I was like, oh, we might be into some real shit here. But
Yeah, 'cause
yeah,
I don't know what audible they call if they can't get that out of his back. You know what I mean? Like, they've got to call the fucking match at that point, don't they? Like, I feel like he'd be like, pin me, fuck it. It's in my back.
No,
Fucking.
I bet you know what he would do. They would have Claudio and Pac just low blow Copeland, hit them with the finisher, and then just lay Moxley over him with the thing in his back, and then take him off.
And then walk out. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly
yeah,
done.
yeah. But also, I mentioned Marina Shafir because we got to see Willow.
Yep.
That puts a smile on everyone's face. And Taz, when he's like, man, it's a tough night at the office when you get beat up by someone in a sweater.
Yeah, he said getting your ass knocked out by someone wearing a sweater. It's a rough night.
That's just great.
Taz had a lot of great one-liners tonight.
Yeah, well, I think he had time to prepare because, it's a snowstorm, so he wasn't really going out doing other things. So I think he had all the time to think of these fun one-liners.
Yeah, it was good stuff. But man, for a while there, I was a bit worried. I was like, oh no, we're gonna have to see some shit get called on the fly live here if they can't get this out of his back.
Yeah,
Jesus.
But let's talk about towards the end here. Okay, so as you mentioned, Yuta comes down, Yuta gets disposed of. Pac comes down, Claudio comes down, so that brings in FTR. I thought old full head of hair FTR almost fucking killed himself because when he dove, it looked like he caught his eye on the corner of the fucking table. He's also, let's not forget, the guy that just fell off the top rope and shit. Ripped his fucking arm open. So I was like, hey, Klutz McGee over here, you might want to watch yourself. Then we think, okay, Cope's going to win. And that's when Marina Shafir comes out, which then brings out Willow. And then Moxley ends up winning. Just fine, right? Does this old choke out pretty fine.
Because what's his name came in? Kip Sabian came in, and
yes.
There people
that was the part I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. That's the part I wanted to talk about, and I totally forgot about it. The patriarchy comes out, and I don't get that.
But it's just Sabian and
Nick Wayne.
So I think what
with
this is
Mother
going to lead
Wayne.
to, with
Mother Wayne.
Now that leads to Moxley, like, okay, get the choke out, which is what he does every time. Every time we see Moxley in the ring with Cope, it's choke him out, right? Just that same spot. Now, I think what they're doing is, so Moxley's now beaten Copeland, right? When Copeland didn't lose, okay, fun. But now Copeland can be like, what the fuck, Christian? And then Christian's still kind of like, what the fuck? I didn't send you two to do that. And be like, oh, you didn't fuck with the plan. And now we get their whole storyline and something going on in there. Moxley's free to move on.
But yes, Moxley's moving on. I think Moxley, again, now it's going to be Dynasty. After he won, we saw Prince Nana looking at his notes, taking some things. He made a call, even though the phone didn't light up, whatever.
Hey, Nana's got a cooler phone than you do.
But like, if you know it, don't do.
Nope. Nana's just got a cooler phone than you. You know what I mean?
Like, touch the fucking thing and
do it.
Yeah. Anyhow, call your friend.
You face it away, right? You touch the back of the phone,
or just call someone. Call someone who knows.
Be like, listen, I'm going to call you at this time.
Right.
Just play cool, right? Just
I don't get it.
Cool thing, yeah.
Because it doesn't show phone numbers anymore. You could say your friend that you're going to call and have it say Swerve, and then now it looks like we're, Anyhow, I digress.
Just call Swerve.
We'll just call that.
Yeah.
But I digress. Where I thought was interesting is all this commotion, right? Patriarchy then looks down at Copeland. He's all pissed. No, damn it. And the FTR guys surround, and bald FTR goes, well, I can't hold your hand, brother.
Oh, Barn Anderson
walks
here.
up. Yeah. And then full head of hair FTR is like, hey, what the fuck is that? And then goes to help Copeland. What are we getting?
Yeah. I did not. I would have figured. I'm not shocked by if you told me we get an FTR heel turn, but if we get what's his real name? The guy just called Barn Anderson. Dax, right?
Dax. Yeah.
if we get him turning heel and a split up of FTR, now I'm a lot more taken aback, right? Not expecting that at all. So what we might get is one of these where, what's up with your bad attitude, man? Why are you doing this? And they play that for a little while, and then suddenly full head of hair guys also like, yeah, fuck these guys too, and now we're bad FTR, right? But how does that play into the patriarchy? How does that play into Copeland? How does that play into Moxley?
Yeah, I think Moxley's and their goofs are long gone. But
oh, fucking Mama Two Times says, I think we're gonna get Christian and Edge versus FTR. So is this the start of like where Christian like gets away from the patriarchy? But he was just such a supreme slimy asshole a week ago. We've got a lot of work to get him back to ENC.
Well,
right?
hold on.
Against a heel FTR.
You're time out.
Or
you're saying is it heel
so
Edge and Christian?
Maybe old Barn Anderson knows something we don't, and that's why he's not shaking his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we do get my Uncle Adam storyline I've been talking about.
Yeah.
So Kip and whatever his fucking name is, Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne, yeah.
And then then the heel Edge and Christian could fucking beat the shit out of them.
Right. I think if we're peeking behind the curtain though, that is all fun. I think in the immediate, what we really did here is I think Bald FTR wants a match against his buddy Adam Copeland. So at Dynasty, we're going to get a push, and it's going to be a one-on-one match, and then they're going to reconcile after the match, and then they're going to get the trios champs.
If we were doing some cool storytelling, maybe this takes RJ City, but we have
Bald
FTR, or you, Bald FTR is being like, I'm fucking angry, fuck this, and Hair FTR is like, come on, man. Why are you know what I mean? We're good guys, right? We, long live the 80s, right? Edge, Adam Copeland, right? He's still good guy. Fans love it. Hey, kids, right? Like, we're all in on this. But they want a match, right? They're like fucking with Edge somehow, but like they're conflicted. But now Christian comes to help him. He's also still his angry heel. So now we've got a heel and a face against a heel and a face, right? I feel like there's a way we could kind of write this out and work this out.
Look, I've told you, one of my favorite tag teams of all time, and I'm not saying this just because Sting is one of my favorites, but when it was Sting, Babyface, and Lex Luger, I flex and I cheat, and Sting kind of had to go, but he's my friend. Like, that's amazing, because that's real life.
Can we do that on both sides? And how do we do that with these individual characters, right?
That would be hard. Yeah,
I feel if both FTR were heel, you could have, if both FTR were heel and were beating up Copeland, you could still get heel Christian being like, well, clearly you need my help, right? Like, and I'll help you beat these fucking chumps, right? But there would be a sinister motive for him for some reason, right? And that I don't have at the moment. But I still don't know how you could get this like conflicting Rockers breakup hinting with FTR and also then have Edge and Christian in their current characters, right? That would be a
check this out. I got it. Oh man, such a big brain.
Okay.
I love when I do this. Clip this and put this on that armchair thing, right?
Yeah.
What I saw. This is what you could do. So I don't know timeline, right? We'll come up timeline later, but these are the beats of the story. So let's just do it next week. Next week, FTR are backstage. Hair FTR talks to Bald FTR. What the fuck was that? Bald FTR goes, hey, are we fucking men or are we pussies? Obviously, you can't say pussy, right?
Maybe you can.
Right, maybe you can. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, Christian cost our friend a title, the heavyweight championship title, and all he had to do was ask for my hand. We're going to kick Christian's ass. Fuck this shit, right? So they go find him. They run into the two kids, right? Nick Sabian and
Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian.
Yeah, Nick Wayne, Kip Sabian, whatever. We get the match there, right? We get a match.
That could be their tag team name is Nick Sabian.
Nick Sabian, right, sure. But they run into them two first. We get a match. FTR wins. We're coming after your dad. Tell him his ass is ours, right? So then the next week, FTR is like, all right. So Hair FTR is like, yeah. So we got our revenge. Like we kicked the kids' asses. He's like, we didn't kick Christian's ass, okay? Like to the point where Bald FTR, you're like, is it what? He didn't lose this match, but he's acting like.
Why are you? Yeah, right. Yeah.
And Hair FTR is like, yeah, fuck him. That guy does suck, but sure, I'm your best friend. Let's go do it.
No fists, or no flips, just fists. Let's do this.
Yeah. So So Bald FTR figures out where Christian is. He chases him to the ring. He like gets him kind of cornered. The patriarchy kids come out. That brings out Hair FTR. He takes out them. Then they turn their attention to Christian.
Mhm.
And again, Bald
Boots.
FTR is like,
Beating.
Bald FTR is like, I'm killing the motherfucker.
Okay.
Hair FTR is like, hey man, like
Chair
calm
toe,
down.
maybe even.
Well, he's like, calm down. And then that's when Christian can be like, fuck you pussies, right? Like something like that.
Yeah.
To where they both flip out. And so then they're kicking him. You bring out Adam Copeland, who's like, guys, fucking chill out.
Yeah, right, yeah. Like,
And-
I want to kill this guy, but like, come on, calm down.
And then that's when Bald FTR goes, like, I thought you were a fucking man. You were my hero. Turns out you're a puss. And then he's like, oh, what? And then that's when Christian gets up, hits him. And then now we got
Now,
Christian.
you know what he says? He's like, I should have known better since you're Canadian, right?
Yeah, or something.
Like,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No, yeah. But what you do is you piss off Copeland to where he's like, oh, you think I'm a bitch? And then Christian already wants to kick their ass. So then those two are fighting FTR. And then they get FTR, powders out, runs from the ring. And then you have them look at each other. And they're like, yeah, get the fuck out of here, right? Like, fuck, I'm not helping you. Fuck you. You cost me a title,
fuck
right?
This guy. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
And then the next week, that's when Christian was like, that wasn't my plan. I don't know what the fuck those guys were doing.
I didn't even tell Nick and Kip to go do that shit. Like,
I wasn't there. Don't you think I would have been there if it was my plan? You think
exactly
they know how to operate on their own?
Yeah, I've already disciplined them, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
And then that's where you get the whole thing where FTR is like, hey, if you think you're so cool with him, why don't we face the greatest tag team of all time? And then Edge and Christian are like, they challenged us. And, and then there you go.
Like, hold on. Before we do this, let's pause for 5 seconds for flash photography.
Well, that's what you can do in the match. No, you got to get that in the match.
Yeah.
How they would accept it is backstage, Renee Paquette goes, thank you guys for agreeing for no physicality. And it's Edge and it's Christian, right? And Christian goes, hey, they challenge us. To where it's like Christian kind of, again, wanting to be a good guy, right? Because every bad guy kind of wants to be a good guy. You get what I'm saying? And every good guy kind of wants to be a bad guy. Christian could look at Edge and be like, hey, man, they did challenge us. And look, they beat you up too. So why don't we just do this one time and then we'll go our separate ways? And Edge is like, man, fuck out of here. Fine. Right. And then throughout the match, FTR is starting to deteriorate, right? Bald FTR just can't get his fucking head in the game because he still kicks the shit out of Edge and Christian too much to where Hair FTR has to stop him. Meanwhile, Edge and Christian are doing the moves to the point where they do the 5-second photography and everyone freaks the fuck out.
Yeah, that could be like that Rock heel or Hogan moment, right? Where everybody just like, this is no longer, you guys aren't heels. Or, you know what I mean? Chris is not a heel anymore, right? Like, this is what you're doing now.
But if you tell the story of two teams kind of on the verge, but going in the opposite directions, right? One team's getting stronger while the other team's falling apart. I think that's fun. I think you could do that. I agree.
Fucking Mama 2 times in the chat says, I like how you guys don't actually use their wrestler names and just call them Bald and Hair FTR.
What's their names?
Dax and Cash. He says,
no one knows.
The thing is, I know that's their names, but I don't know. I forget in the moment which is which, and I don't care to like make sure I catalog and remember because like it's Bald or Hair.
Yeah, and no one knows. No one knows. I'm pretty sure that at one time they were called the Revival. So you know what I mean? And that's just a rumor. So no one knows their names.
Barn Anderson.
Barn Anderson, brother. God, man, this is when Tony Khan, if he really wanted to get fucking wild, could get that checkbook out and bring back for one night Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard and just be like, hey guys, having some dissension. We know about that. You know what I mean? And just like, so then you have all these steps of the ways in your prime, on the tail end of your prime, retired, and just have like the same team, but in 3 different states. That would be fun. Would be fun. What are we doing here? Oh, Backstage, Renee Paquette talks to Bandito.
Mhm.
And then we go to Will Ospreay versus AR Fox. Look, Bandito's fine. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I
it's-
mean, like, yeah, he did fine enough for what he's supposed to say here against Jericho, but the story still is,
It's just
yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about it a little bit, I guess. So here's the thing that just you made my mother cry and in front of me, as if just her crying in a different state just doesn't mean that much to you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Well,
I
and just like when you did that to my brother, it's like, brother, your brother is in wrestling. Like, he knows what's up. You know what I mean? Like, he knows how this goes.
It's not a Make-A-Wish kid. My Gravity can never be someone I support after Samoa Joe made fun of him.
Yeah.
Remember when
It's kind of how I feel. Remember when I was like, look, hologram, as cool as you are, once you showed me Harley Graham,
yeah, you're done.
I can't see that now. Like, you're the McDowells and not McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is here. I'm sorry.
Yeah. When Gravity did the thing and Samoa Joe did the walk away, but he did it like Gravity.
Yeah. Not only did you shit on this guy, but you shit on this guy by personalizing how you generally shit on people.
Yeah.
So you extra shit on this guy.
Yeah, definitely. And and then so the end of this segment is Johnny TV, which forgot about him, says
hold on. Fuck your mama 2 times says if Tony really wanted to get wild, he'd have Stone Cold answering Max Caster's open challenge at Y'all In. He's not going to be at WrestleMania.
No, I mean, that would be cool. Here's one thing that I heard, because again, I hate that I know wrestling news, but it comes up because of suggested posts and all the bullshit. I saw that Lex Luger's going into the Hall of Fame, which I knew, and he's going to ask Sting to bring him in. And AEW, which is totally fair.
Yeah.
And look,
if anybody in Lex Luger's career is to induct him in the Hall of Fame,
it's
Sting.
Yeah.
Certainly can't be Miss Elizabeth.
Because she's dead.
Yeah. Ask Lex
why.
About that. All right.
Oh, hey.
Allegedly.
So, well, no, he was there. Now, how it happened, we don't know. But so the thing is, I guess, is then they will ask AEW, that is, something from WWE. It's not going to be Stone Cold.
No, it will
right?
not be Stone Cold. No.
That's not the same. Here, let's have a fun. We'll get back into
I saw a fun skeet that said if Tony Khan really wanted to get down to business, he would tell WWE to fuck off and book Sting to give a 10-minute speech about Lex Luger's career the night before the fucking. You know? Like,
Sting's not that much of an asshole, though, you know?
You brought up the NCAA tournament earlier, and we talked about K-State's not in it because they suck, right? So when K-State's not in the NCAA tournament, the next best thing about the NCAA tournament is watching KU lose in the first round like they just did tonight to Arkansas, 79-72. So,
man, they lost to a school with 2 more letters. Kansas beat Kansas. That's gotta suck.
Oh, and it's Calipari, so you know they hate that.
Yeah, calamari. Fucking hate that appetizer.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like it. What about Calipari?
He's the head coach of Arkansas now, so they hate that they had to lose to him.
I'm a dumb fuck. I really was thinking calamari. I thought you were talking about food. I was like, why are we talking about food? But okay. Yeah.
Nope.
Good. Great.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what? Higher levels of learning.
What is the return favor for AEW?
What would you do? So they get Sting to induct. Now, in the past, for example, when Ric Flair was in TNA, they threw him over to WWE. WWE threw Christian back over to TNA for one night.
I just don't know what we do. Because what I don't want is Cody, right? Like,
no,
can't have that. And I don't think WWE would even do that right now. And I don't think Cody even would do that. I get the feeling like he doesn't want to be over there either.
Keep talking. I got it. You keep talking about what you would think. I got it.
I mean, I really don't know much. I was trying to rack my brain on like who has some sort of tie to somebody, but I'm still just not even coming up with anything. I don't watch WWE at all anymore and haven't for well over a year, so I don't even really have a good answer for this.
I got it at Y'allin. I got it at Y'allin. You're going to do Osprey. You're going to do a crazy match. So you need something that still keeps the crowd going, but it's not going to be another fucking spin the roof 530 10-star match or whatever the fuck we're calling them now, right? You're not going to get another 10-star match. So what you do to keep the crowd into it, but bring them down just a little bit, but get a moment, is you do this. Max Caster is going to keep doing these open challenges, right? Well, by the time Y'all In happens, it's going to be July. It's going to maybe run its course, right? So Anthony Bowens leading up to All In is going to be like, stop doing the fucking open challenges.
Yeah,
and
you're
Max
a
Caster's
loser.
like, I'm the best
embarrassing.
wrestler. Yeah. I'm the best wrestler alive, and I'm going to prove, you know what, even more so, what are you doing? Right. He tells Anthony Bowens, he goes, how about this? One night only. We get the Acclaim back. Okay. We prove that we're the greatest tag team. Obviously I was number 1 and you were number 2. We bring back the greatest tag team and we do an open challenge. Right. So Osprey wrestles this match. Then Max Caster comes out and he's doing his, yeah, right. Anthony Bowens follows him out. God damn it, Max, stop doing this. I'm not going to wrestle with you, but like, you can't be doing this. Then you hear bum, bum, and it's the Ass Man, right? And Billy Gunn comes out, who hasn't been on TV in so long. And he's like, oh, are you guys trying to reunite because you think you're the best tag team? So he's out there dressed like this. Well, who comes out to help him? This motherfucker right here.
Yeah. They'll
Oh,
be like,
you
don't even have a partner. And then you'll hear,
Yeah.
oh, you didn't know? And then,
one night. And
they would definitely approve that. They would definitely sign off on that. Well, it's Triple H's fucking buddies. Like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yep. There it is, right
Easy
there.
Money. Yep, the Acclaim versus DX, or the New Age Outlaws. Yeah,
And don't make it a match because they're too old. Just get them to do their fun spots.
Sure,
and then he goes, blah, 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 suck it, and all the asses or whatever.
He does his dance over there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Uh-huh. Not a bad idea.
Sting for Road Dogg? I mean, that's a good win-win, right?
I mean, I guess, yeah. No,
because that would be an amazing moment. No one would expect going to All In.
No.
And you got Sting.
Well, that's the thing too, is you'd walk out daddy ass, and then everybody would be like, okay, that makes sense. And then boom, now we've got this tag team more thing. Yeah. I like it.
Clip that in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Will Ospreay, he's up next. And he takes on AR Fox. And he wins.
AR Fox, man, brother is that dude is just like in a shape that nobody is in their life, and he's 84 years old.
I was thinking about this.
Just action figure abs.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what I was thinking about: is AEW loves the old guy, right? You got Christian, you got Chris Jericho, you got Dustin Rhodes, right? If MVP and Bobby Lashley end up turning on Shelton Benjamin, doing a tag team of Shelton Benjamin and AR Fox and calling them not timeless, but like ageless or limitless. No, they can't do limitless either, but you know what I mean? One of those names.
Look, AR Fox, you put him in a suit. Shelton Benjamin already doesn't talk much, right? Nor does Bobby Lashley. Like, if you add him as another member of that group, like, I think
that's
fits
true
into
too.
that group.
Yeah.
Fuck Your Mama 2 Times is taking exception to your trade. He says it's not a fair trade. No one in the world has ever thought Road Dogg for Sting is a fair trade. And when you say that on paper, I get what you're saying, right? Road Dogg for Sting is not a fair trade.
Well, that's how you get it done. But that's how you get it done.
But because you got Road Dogg, you get New Age Outlaws for this moment against the Acclaim, where all they're getting is a speech at the Hall of Fame, which is going to be forgettable. Look, Sting is fine. He's not a bad public speaker, but nobody's ever been like, I'm ready to vote for this guy or whatever when he talks, right? He's never been like the cool guy in the room to tell a lot of stories.
He's never been the promo guy. Yeah.
Right. So, he'll tell some heartwarming stories about Lex.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah.
But we'll get you know what I mean? New Age Outlaws flexing their nuts in front of Max Caster. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But that's how you get it done. Triple H calls Tony Khan or who, and Tony Khan's like, yeah, you could have Sting. I just want Road Dogg. And Triple H is like, what? He's like, yeah, I just want Road Dogg.
Or just Road Dogg.
Just Road Dogg. I'll ask them. And then they're like, hey, they kind of want you for AEW. And then Billy Gunn says, hey, one night, come on, man, just hang out. I'll introduce you to everyone. We got a couple free agents on the way. We'll bring them over to WWE. You'll look even cooler that you brought them over. So just hang out backstage. Then he gets backstage. Guess what you're fucking doing? What? Yeah, you're getting out there. God damn it. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're ready to, you can't do braids anymore, right? And you full bald now, but you know what I mean?
Right. Just wear this fucking hat, the hat, the silly hat, this one,
Yeah.
The golf
Bring
hat.
your sleeveless t-shirt. I know you brought your sleeveless t-shirt. I know you brought it.
You better get him in a long sleeve. Get him dressing like Sting. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be awesome though? I think that'd be great.
That could be a fun spot. It'd be fun. Fucking Mom 2 times says I want Mick Foley.
No, because Mick Foley goes to everything.
And what would he do? He'd just come out and be like, hey, love this, bang, bang. Now, he does have this, he could get involved with the Edge situation, right? Let's get the flaming tables involved.
Or get involved with John Moxley, right? Because they're both crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Like, Moxley, prior to being Dean Ambrose, tried to run up on Mick Foley and start like a indie war with him. So you can get involved in all of that. Derek83 says, I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Good. I wouldn't do, not Mick Foley, because Mick Foley goes to everything. Mick Foley is at every convention with all the other people that's not in the, you got to get someone unique who isn't out of the WWE bubble, which again, Road Dogg, to the best of my knowledge, is not at any indie shows or doing any of that other kind of stuff. So that's what I would do.
Maybe you could get a swap for like Nakamura in one of these like tournaments where it's like, where they do the tournament that was like people from all over the world or.
Yeah, the international tournament or whatever. Yeah. Owen Hart. It was Owen Hart. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
But that would be multiple nights. But that would be multiple nights.
Well, that's what I mean. Maybe you find one of these where it's a tournament, but then you'd have to lose the first match and they ain't going to do that.
Okay. Or I like this. This is a little bit more fun because the rest of the night is awesome, but this is a little bit more fun for right now. So let's dig into this a little bit more.
What if you got the Usos and you had a Young Bucks versus Usos match?
That would be, no, they ain't giving them up. But okay, so let's say my fucking
2 times. He says the correct answer is Wendy Richter.
Wendy Richter said she'll do it for 20 million.
Yeah, well,
did you hear that? She did an interview. She's like, she was saying it tongue in cheek. She obviously knows who Toni Storm is. She's like, I don't know who this Toni Storm bitch is. I'll wrestle her though for 20 million. I was like,
Tony,
probably will.
Tony.
Yeah.
I'll chip in $5 for this.
Yeah. I'll give $1.50. Here you go. Okay. So if you don't want my fun moment, which I think is the best, but I am tied to it because it's my idea and I like my ideas.
You got a big brain.
I got a huge brain. Then you do this. If it's a wrestling match that AEW is wanting, right? If they came to me and they're like, we ain't doing no fucking appearances, it's going to be a wrestling match. All right. Then you know what I would do? I'd have Will Ospreay going up to Y'all In. Because is he wanting the title? Let me clarify something first. Is he wanting the title at Y'all In? Or is he just like thinking like
I think he just
be champion by that time?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's like, well, I think that's the goal, right? I want to at the biggest event, like I'm either fighting for that championship or I am the champion, right?
So let's just say he doesn't fight for that championship. Double or Nothing is before that, right? It's after WrestleMania, but it's before Y'all In. Because I don't think WWE would agree to like your biggest show and we're giving you our guy. So fuck that, right? Mm-hmm. So this is what I'd do. I'd have Will Ospreay start getting that momentum.
The Owen winner earns the title shot at All In.
Okay, so the Owen winner is Will Ospreay. No. Fuck that. The Owen winner is someone else. Will Ospreay, though, gain on momentum. He's on it, right? Mm-hmm. And he's winning all the matches. But you know how he's winning all the matches? With the Styles clash. Mm-hmm. So you know who that pisses off? AJ fucking Styles. AJ Styles, Will Ospreay?
That would be a good one. The correct answer that y'all are missing is CM Punk to face Jack Perry. Now we're talking.
That would be funny if he acted up.
Oh,
You know, honest to God,
if they
I
worked
would
a
not.
deal, but WWE would probably want that on their programming versus, 'cause that's gonna
Well,
be a big deal.
yeah, but I bet you, I'm not even kidding you. I bet you, let's just say the Sting thing has already been agreed upon, right? Because WrestleMania is coming up, I think, soon, right?
Yeah,
I
something good.
bet you, I bet you one of the things that WWE is doing right now is, hey, Phil, you're going to lose to Roman Reigns. Oh, you don't like that? Well, we've got to deal with Sting that he's coming over here for the Hall of Fame. We got to give someone to AEW. Who would that be? And he's like, no, 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 don't send me back. He's like,
Yeah.
Then I guess we're losing to Roman Reigns tonight.
Yeah, right.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
Son of a bitch. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do to that fucking prick.
Guess you're getting the old Daniel Bryan Sheamus treatment tonight when Roman Reigns returns, and you're losing with one boot to the face.
Boom. Yeah, the Superman punch and you're out. Yeah. All right, so let's get back into it.
You're going to lose to Braun Strowman tonight as we're starting his push to go. You're like, what the fuck?
And he's going to hurt me like Ryback. Oh, you're a fucking brittle little bitch. So Ospreay beats AR Fox. Then we get backstage, and Hangman, ooh, did he have something interesting to say? He says, my thoughts on Moxley and Swerve being official at Dynasty? Well, I swore Swerve would never be champion again, and I'm a man of my word. But my focus will be on me. A lot of people have been jumping in on this Owen Hart tournament. Same here. I'm in it as well. What do you make of the Swerve comments? And then what do you make of him in the Owen Hart tournament?
The Swerve comments are interesting because we are on this, I felt, Hangman redemption tour from we're trying to have Hangman be conflicted, be a bad guy. We didn't take to it, so let's have him have his redemption and go back. Can he cost Swerve this title? And if he does, are we still all... I mean, Hangman has done nothing wrong, and I get the feeling he can do nothing wrong. So what do we do here? Does he not? Does he help Swerve? He doesn't help Swerve. I know that, right?
It's Moxley and
Is that
the
step 4
Death
of his 12
Riders.
steps? Yeah.
So let's review a little bit. We did see right before this MJF Hangman thing, one of the times that they ran into each other was Hangman was going to Swerve's locker room to try to find Swerve to talk to him. So there's that. Then it just went into MJF and Hangman, which is fine. And then we have these comments here. Here's my thoughts. Again, I'll give you my predictions as we get closer, but just after he said this is where I instantly went to. It's going to be Swerve versus Hangman at Y'all In. They're going to do Kenny Omega versus Okada. They're going to do Hangman versus Swerve. They're going to do Ospreay versus fucking maybe Moxley, right? Like they're doing all.
Are we going to get another Texas death match at All In for Swerve Hangman? Is it Texas death match in Texas?
Yeah, it could be. It would be so fucking cool to see the conflict on his face that Hangman does cost Swerve the championship because he swore it and that he's a man of his word, but he absolutely hates that he said it, right? Like he's like, I said I was going to do it and I have to follow through.
Yeah,
and like,
he's almost like apologizing right after he did it. He's like, "Look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean I gotta do what I said.
You're never better than me." And then that's when we get let's find out who the better person is at, whatever pay-per-view.
We could get some interesting emotions between Hangman trying to be apologetic the whole time and sort of being like, "I don't give a shit. Like, we're still fighting. I'm fucking you up for this," and being like, if that's what you got to do, I'm not going to let you like fight me. Like I'm going to fight back, but like, this is where we are now. You know what I mean? It's where it's like, fuck you, man. Like, don't come at me with that shit. Don't try to get in my fucking head, you weirdo. Right?
It would be wild. If we really want to boo Hangman, the easiest possible thing to do. And I wouldn't do this.
Will we boo Hangman?
No, I will never boo Hangman. I don't care.
If he ever says leaves aren't plants, then we might.
I would be disappointed.
True. I don't know that I'd boo him.
Yeah.
I'd be like, did you lie to me then, or are you lying to me now? What's going on?
I think the easiest thing to do, the quickest, easiest thing to do to get this ready for a pay-per-view at Double or Nothing, let's just hypothetically say, is what they teased and then didn't do at the last pay-per-view. Prince Nana hires the services of Hangman Adam Page to cost Swerve Strickland the championship. And then he says, because you could even do something silly like this. Prince Nana, Hangman, what is this? What is all of this? And he's like, well, I gave him that weed he was asking for. And then and they know that that's a joke and then just walk off.
I'm gonna beat your ass and I'm gonna steal your weed.
Wouldn't that be the best? Just the quickest, easiest way to just get us to be a smile.
Hangman with Nana on the back of the horse, and they're just riding off. Nana's doing the dance on the horse.
Well, they're just smoking a blunt together as he's riding the horse.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got his coffee cup trying not to spill.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, but then I don't think we're booing. I think we're cheering that. I love that.
Yeah.
Hangman can do nothing wrong. And I saw, I forget her name, Amy Nemedy or whatever on Blue Sky said Hangman's strict adherence to referring to it as the AEW Men's World Championship just shows again this man has never done anything wrong.
Yep, he's the best. He is the best. All right, let's keep it moving because we got a couple more segments here. We go backstage. Renee Paquette is talking to Mercedes Moné. As you mentioned, this is where Mercedes is like, who trained Billy? I know if I trained Billy, she could actually,
bitch.
Yeah, she could actually beat me, but obviously she could never beat me. And her trainer's a bitch. And so Athena is coming. Awesome. And then Tim, we get to our main event, the actual main event.
It's time for the women.
Yeah, it is time for the women. And we get Chris Statlander versus Megan Bayne, and Toni Storm is on commentary.
Oh, God, is she?
And the just best line. Put her on commentary once a month. Gosh. I don't even care if she's not involved in the story. You know how we did that bullshit with Jericho and Magic Mike or whatever? What's that guy's name? I already forgot it. 2.0.
Daddy Magic.
Daddy Magic. Yeah, Daddy Magic. You know how he would just put Toni Storm in that spot.
Yeah, so I think one of the first zingers she comes out with is like, I was really impressed with the Hollywood ending. And she was like, yes, I heard Mr. Chavone had a Hollywood ending also, but he had to pay $45 for the pleasure. She's the best.
Yeah, and then like even some of her like G-rated zingers were great. Where does this woman live?
Yeah.
A Greek restaurant?
Yeah. Oh, she said, I'm the Stormoto dragon. Same tongue and dry skin.
Well, yeah, and then the Stormoto dragon, Taz was like, you mean Komodo dragon? No, Stormoto dragon.
Yeah,
obviously, like corrected him on it. Yeah, it's just the best. And then the Bane, I get my back broke every night.
Yeah.
The fucking best.
Yeah, and then in her promo after that match when she was like, and I'll be leaving with this strap on.
Strap on? Yeah, with this strap on. Yeah. Oh,
God. She said, my God, you're a big bitch. Everything. Every other line from her. Like, she takes no breaks.
No.
She takes no breaks.
She's the best.
Rapid fire. She also is a little rapey when talking to these women, right? Like, she's a little, it's a little.
I mean, she's from the 20s.
Yeah, that's true.
Huh?
She's the best wrestler in the world, says fuck you mama 2 times. And it's hard to argue, man.
I've been saying it.
Matches A+, promos A+, character work A++, right? Could be giving a class in this shit. Amazing.
Because you know why I think that even more so than just to be a contrarian, because I do honestly believe it, but it's also more fun to say to be a contrarian than saying a man like, Roman Reigns or Cody or whatever, right? Is unlike Cody and Roman and Punk, and even to a certain extent, sometimes MJF and Hangman and Eddie Kingston, there isn't anything that if you put on and said Tony Storm did this in the past as timeless Tony Storm, that I wouldn't want to watch again. I'd be like, oh, this is, for example, hey, do you remember when she was on commentary for the Statlander Bane match? Oh, dude, she had some of the like everything is rewatchable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't say that about
True.
everyone, you know, like that's the part why I think she is the best. I could show it to anyone and they're going to know what it is. And it's awesome.
The thing too, is that like each week it's not, you know, Jerry Lawler would throw out 100 jokes and, you know, 7 of them would be funny. Right. And you'd be like, all right, that was decent. Every week, everything she's throwing out is B plus or better. Right. Like, and some are G rated, some are really thick with double entendres, and some like, it's so insane the level of creativity she is with this, with this flow that she's got going right now.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler would have some good ones. A couple of them that I still use is he's so strong he eats a steak with a soup, or he eats a steak with a
spoon.
With a spoon, yeah, I would say he eats steak with a spoon. And then I'd say anytime someone would tell me their name, I'd say your parents had 9 months to think of a name, and that's the best they could come up with. Like those little things he didn't do. But yeah, it's a lot of them was like, okay, puppies, Jesus Christ, get a fucking life. But let's talk about in the ring. So Statlander Bane, they have a hoss fight.
Yeah, man, they went at it.
Yeah,
and hear me out. The choreography and the timing of it all went really well. Remember when I said like, if you're going to choreograph everything, your timing better be good. And I feel like they did A+ in this too, right? Like the spots were good. There wasn't a whole lot of waiting around, and there was a lot of like where they, you know, it was like, I'm going to try this kind of slap, and then now it's going to, and it had a lot of these where timing had to be right, and a lot of spots to get to, and they did it, and they did it really well.
And old Sugar Tits, Penelope Ford, she did good too. That's what Tony Storm called her, not me.
Because he was like, you're out of here, and she was like, goodbye, Sugar Tits. He's like, well, or that too. And even, you know, normally I think sometimes we'll shit on Aubrey for being a little hamming it up and being in the spot, but the crowd was so into that she like she knew to hit that spot right with like the rolling arms and the like get out of here, right? Crowd popped. It was great. And Penelope, to her credit, like dropped to the ground crazy. It was great.
Yeah, everyone
capped
did
off with Sugar Tits.
Capped it off with Sugar Tits. And everyone for like, you know, you've talked about how sometimes the main event is not necessarily the main event for what we're tuning in for, right? If you were to tell me before this was shown what was the main event, I would have said it was the championship match.
Right,
the men's
not Bane Statlander. We wouldn't have thought that would have been what they,
But they got this opportunity, and all of them, Tony Storm, Penelope Ford, Megan Bane, Statlander, they
We said this. They righted this wrong. Remember, because it was like a couple weeks back, we were like, they should run that back. They shouldn't have had that weird ending with Thunder Rosa and Penelope. And it's like, they listened. They ran it back, and we got a quality A+ match out of it. This was good stuff.
Yeah. So after this is when we got Tony Storm to challenge Megan Bane for her women's world championship at Dynasty. Here's the thing. Megan Bane hasn't even, I don't even think she's been down for a 2 count.
That's another thing I saw somebody point out. They said, not like, to further cement best wrestler in the world material here with Tony Storm is she has us popping the roof off in anticipation for a match against somebody who hasn't said a single fucking word yet and has only been here a couple weeks. Really?
Yeah.
Like, and she has us ready to be like, fuck yeah! Right? Like, let's do this. Insane.
Yeah. And the way they presented Megan Bane isn't one of these like, oh, she's just barely winning, or man, I don't know. Like,
formidable.
Yeah, she's as impressive as Braun Strowman when he started his whole, you know, I'm not finished with you, Roman Reigns stuff. Like, same kind of vibe.
Well, and they said it coming in the match. I think it was like, look, she's really come in and set the whole women's division on the side of its head here. Like, suddenly at the top of the list, you know what I mean? Like, in short order, because she is that intimidating, right? Like a wrecking ball where it's kind of understood by everybody that you're not winning a fair fight one-on-one against Megan Bane, right?
Right.
Statlander might have had a shot, but the rest of y'all, you got some work ahead of you, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's the last question I'll end the episode with to you. Dynasty will be Megan Bane, Tony Storm. Do we get a glimpse, a sniff, a hint at Mariah May? We haven't seen her since she lost. And ending in wrestling means nothing. So do we
you
get
could,
something?
if the plan is, Tony Storm, love you. We're going to do more with this character, but we're going to put this title on Megan Bayne while she's this intimidating thing. So a way to do that and save face here is Mariah May comes out of the darkness and does something here, right?
Yeah. A movie's never, a movie this good needs a sequel, or you know what I mean? She could
Maybe
easily
she
say
dives
something.
really into the woman from hell thing, and we get a lot more sinister, devilish stuff out of Mariah May, if that's possible. But you know what I mean?
Or if you did, I don't think you do, but if you did, I think you get her more psychotic. Stop having her makeup being done so well. Stop having her dress, like she's
she had that
on
like
a runway.
MVP got poor from his losing streak run. Remember that when like he was losing everything and he was dressing bad and his hair was
Baron
jacked
Corbin?
up. No, it was MVP had one of these runs.
Oh, I don't remember MVP.
Yeah,
I
it was
remember
like,
Baron Corbin's.
I don't think it was as poor as this said he was like not winning and he wasn't like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And he kind of had to get back and thing. But yeah, same thing with the Baron Corbin, right? So you could have her like, you know what I mean, slowly descending into madness, and then like you're saying, like she's not doing her makeup, right? Her hair isn't obviously done by a stylist, right? Like she's not wearing model clothes, right? And she's just starting to go crazy.
Yeah, here you go. You should do something like, hold on. Do like that. Remember this?
Yeah. Yeah, so this was similar. I felt like it was back in the early like SmackDown Matt Hardy, MVP days. And I felt like he had like a losing streak for a long time, right? And that was like the thing, and they were all kind of shitting on him. And so like as that was feeling like instead of his like I'm coming and all the fireworks, like they were just like a couple sparklers up and everything, and he's like, God damn it, right? Like, and they're like, oh, you ain't fucking winning. What are we gonna?
You didn't pay for it tonight.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our AEW Dynamite. Megan Bayne, Tony Storm at Dynasty.
Daring says, what if Megan Bayne has a crazy high voice like that Dutch Olympic runner? And that's why they're not, not having her speak. You don't need to have her speak is what Tom keeps saying. Goldberg didn't speak.
You don't need to hear from people. Not everyone is interesting.
Does she need a mouthpiece at all? Do you have some sort of management?
Well, not now. Because Penelope Ford is doing the bullshit stuff around her, right?
She's doing the lackey stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So have her do it,
I saw somebody said, could you imagine this combo? And it's Ricochet and Stokely Hathaway.
That's the best.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Going up against like Swerve and Nana, and you have Stokely and Ricochet.
Yeah.
My God.
I would love it. I would love it.
Can't even talk to you about how great that would be. But
I miss Stokely. Stokely, I miss.
What is up with Stokely?
Miss him.
Big Stoke.
Need more of them. But Tom, I thought AEW Dynamite was great. I thought folks in the chat hanging out with us were great. Everybody should do that each week. AEWrapup@gmail.com is the email if you want to send us an email like fuck your mama 2 times dead. Or allelitewrapup.com is the website for all the other links, including where you can send Tom money.
I need it.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. I guess we'll just come back next week and we'll talk about this again, right? We'll run it back then, right? For more All Elite.
Run it back.
Time.